Hello and welcome to GH Music Discourse. I'm back again, like I never left. Anyway, I'm here to talk to another personality, and she's going to inform us about everything you need to know about background vocalist in Ghana. Right, so my smile says, oh, we're having a party behind, the scenes. I'm excited, I'm privileged to have you, Nanama, on the show. Welcome.
Thank you, darling.
You're looking so beautiful.
Thank you.
I love what you're wearing.
Thank you.
Okay, and you are here as a backing vocalist. We know you as a backing vocalist. We'll go straight into the conversation. But before we start off, Nanama, you've done a lot of songs. You've backed a lot of artists. But I don't know why we can't place the name to the face. Why?
It's simple because we're not doing videos, you see people shooting videos and you don't get to see the background vocalists behind the video. So it's not only me, but most of the background vocalists are always being hidden. We don't really come out of our shells, So the only time you see us is when we are performing live, because that is what tells who you really are. I mean, as a musician, you need to prove yourself right. But if I should do video, it's miming. That is not me.
I see.
Yes.
I see.
So it's also another form of a job for other people to do. That is why we're always being hidden behind the camera.
I see. But I would love for you to explain the work of a backing vocalist.
A background vocalist basically is somebody who goes to the studio and help or support. We don't only back, but we also perform in the studio. So you go to the studio to enhance what you have, to help the musicians. So sometimes a background vocalist go to the studio, we do all the parts. I sing all the parts, and it beautifies the music. Musicians can always go away with their vocals, but a background vocalist always have to get it right, irrespective of who you are. So if you are not that good, you can't be a background vocalist, especially being in the studio.
Interesting.
Yes.
I see.
Because when I started, we were using reel-to-reel. That I'm sure now new generations will not even know what it was. But you go to the studio, you do one verse or one chorus, you sing soprano, and then you have to be in the vocal room for like 30 minutes. So you do everything throughout. The little mistake you do, everything is being ripped off. You have to go back again. Yes. So it was very, very difficult that time. So we were getting only few people to be doing backing in the studio. If you are not really, really good, you can't be a background vocalist. Yes.
Okay, I see. And before we take the conversation any further, I would love for you to educate our viewers. I found out certain songs you did and I was in shock. But my favorite is, because I know some of the songs you've worked on. Hey, I'm coming to interview here. I have to research, guys. Yes. So my favorite is Bonina Maya
Wunyinara Majinwe Huse Manyenuye. Bonina Maya Wunyinara Majinwe Huse Manyenuye. Enutina Masaga se Odomeno Meho. Fame bone chame, enti minye biemu na maba Sonny. So that was Sonny Achiba.
Okay, and then
I did Lord Kenya, Odode Wakumem. I did Kwade. I did Noble Nketia, Philippa Befi, Grace Ashi.
Wow.
Black Rasta.
Wow.
Kunti Hene. Nana Bati, Obo, Sydney.
Okay.
Hey, Omodos.
Yeah. And I love Black Rasta Nyuane.
Mama.
Yeah.
Come make we talk about Barack Obama. Papa. Come make we talk about Barack Obama. Barack Obama. Barack Obama.
And I find it so weird that we don't know you. Like, I'm sorry, but
I know
we don't know you. And yeah, are you pained? I don't know how you feel about it. How do you feel about, say, you've done this for over 20 years, but people cannot place the face to the voice?
Yeah.
How do you feel about it?
Sometimes it's good because now everybody wants to see Nanama. Sometimes too, I feel pain because the industry has not been fair with background vocalists in this country. I'm talking on behalf of every background vocalist because I stand for them. There are a lot of them: Claudia, Mary Japon, Margaret Gbende, Sonti, who wasn't even a Ghanaian. We had Lady Zuzu. We used to have Billy Richardson, who was not a Ghanaian, who came to this country to work with a lot of Ghanaian musicians. And the industry had not even recognized them, not to even appreciate their hard works in our industry. So sometimes I feel pain because the industry has not been fair at all.
So sad.
Yes. Not only the industry, but also some musicians. I quite remember when I did Middle with Lord Kenya. I think that was where Nanama started. And that was how come everybody got to know Nanama, because I remember when he was given the award, he won a couple of awards with that song. I think 4 or 5 awards. And the main award was given to him, and he dedicated that award to me. Sometimes it's not about money, but appreciating what the person has done for you. So I think with that alone, it opened doors for me that everybody started tagging me with Lord Kenya Nanama. So whoever wants to work with Nanama would say, oh, and the lady who backed Middle. So it was like Nanama, Lord Kenya, Nanama. So that is how come everybody started working with me.
Okay, but apart from what you mentioned, are there some entitlements you were denied?
Yes, that is one for us to be recognized. Because most of these, as I said earlier on, we don't only go to the studio to back. We perform. And when you listen to Middle, there was a performance in it that I did. So it was like Lord Kenya featuring Nanama. And that song won an award. So I think it was in the right state of mind for the industry should have recognized the person who featured on that song. Even not featuring, but who backed that song that became so popular. We have a couple of background vocalists who have done the same marvelous job. Like she backed Lumba, and he won awards on it. So I think the industry, the entitlement that we're supposed to get in the industry was denied.
Okay.
Yes.
So how has remaining a backing vocalist affected you?
It has not affected me in any way, but it has rather taught me so many things. Because we can't always be a frontliner if we want to, but as a background vocalist, it's also a job. It's a kind of a job that you being a boss and somebody being a secretary, you need somebody to support you in your office. So if a musician goes to the studio to work, that musician needs a background vocalist to work with. So it is a job on its own. The unfortunate part of it is here in this country, we are not being appreciated and we are not being recognized. But if you go to the other world, if a background vocalist can be a background vocalist for the rest of his or her life without even wanting to be a frontliner, because he or she is benefiting from what he or she is doing, and that person is being recognized and appreciated.
I see.
So here in Ghana, you see seminars, talk shows, let's say mentor, stars of the future. They only call musicians, they only call sound engineers. But believe you me, some background vocalists are even better than musicians. So we're being, pushed aside. Sometimes I feel so sad.
Okay, but have you had conversations with industry players to have, let's say, backing vocalists under one umbrella in, to have conversations geared towards your welfare?
When I started this agenda, I started last year. So I decided to bring most of my colleagues together. It's unfortunate some of them are always shy when it comes to camera, or they are always scared. I don't know if it's scaring or they are they don't really understand what they do, what they are doing, or what they found themselves doing, because you call them for interviews and everybody's like, they lay back. They don't want to come for interviews. So I've tried. I mean, media people have helped, with my agenda, so that what we are due for, we can get, because it's about time. It's about time that people should see or know why it is so important background vocalists needs to be recognized.
Okay, I like the fact that you said what you are due. So what are some of the steps you are taking to realize this?
Yes, one of the movements is for a background vocalist to understand what split sheet is.
Okay.
Signing an agreement with the artist. I quite remember I did a song with Rocky Dawuni, Wake Up the Town. And that song is on FIFA 208. And I'm sure Rocky is going to benefit royalties from that song till God knows how many years. I did the backgrounds with myself and a colleague, We're only given transportation. Yes. So now how do you go confront Rocky that, Rocky, I am due for royalties in this particular song?
But why can't you?
I can't because there was no contract. There was no contract. When we started, we didn't know what a contract was. We didn't know what a split sheet was. So we're just doing the job because, Juma, we are all doing the same thing.
Do you think the artists or musicians take advantage of
you? They took a lot of it, not do I think. Because some of them knew the right thing to do. But I remember I was working with this artist and I said, at a point I wanted to bring a manager into my job.
Okay. So
that it would be more decent and respectful. So when a musician wants to work with me, that person doesn't come straight to me, but goes through a manager and then, okay, then we'll call you next time. So it is an abomination for a background vocalist to have a manager, which is wrong.
But now you do.
Now I do. It's very important. And I keep saying this anywhere that I go, that as a background vocalist, you need to sign a split sheet. About 2 months ago, I met this white man and we're talking. And there was this project I was supposed to be on. And I said, can I go with split sheets? He said, yes, why not? You are entitled to anything that comes out of that project. So for 20 years, let's say 20 years, look at the works that I have done. If I had signed contracts with these musicians, why would I bother myself being a frontliner? By now, Mrs. CC, I died by 1,000.
But why, right now you are going mainstream. Why did it have to take you about 20 years?
It was a decision I made last year because fighting the fight of a background vocalist, you need people to support you to fight that fight. And some of my colleagues are relaxed. So, okay, I'm not going to leave my job as a background vocalist because it's a job. And that is what has brought me where I am today. So being in the mainstream doesn't stop me from being a background vocalist.
I see. And ever since you started, what are some of the backlash you've got from your
other A lot.
vocalists?
I mean, I remember last year I spoke with one presenter and I got his number from a friend. So after talking to him, he called the friend and asked him, why do you have to give my number to this person? But believe you me, this year he was looking for me to interview me. That same person, yes. So I had a lot of insults on social media. Sometimes people be like, are you the only background vocalist in this country? Why are you bothering yourself? Why are you... The insults are too much, even from my colleagues. But then I was like, no. If I don't talk, nobody's going to talk. Everybody's quiet.
But I want to know your expectations when you decided to go mainstream.
My expectation wasn't that big, but now it's becoming bigger because I didn't know how the industry is going to accept me as a frontliner because everybody knows me as a background vocalist. So coming out with a single was to test the waters if it's going to work, and it has worked. Yes, the media the social media has helped, the media has helped, and I think we'll take it up from there.
Okay, we'll talk about your single in a bit, but right at this. But right now, you're going for a quick break. We'll be right back. Welcome back, and you're still watching GH Music Discourse. I'm here with Nana Ama. I'm literally in shock about some of the things you are saying. I'm in shock. I won't even lie. But anyway, we have to move on with the conversation, and we'll talk about your single, like I said. But do you think the music industry has failed you?
Yes, it has. Because seeing myself now, I think I should have been. This is not where I'm supposed to be. The industry has failed every background vocalist in this country. Not only me, because I stand for background vocalist. It has failed us totally. So you see a lot of background vocalists being frontliners. A lot of them. PSA Esther, Diana Hamilton, Joyce Blessing, name them. A lot of them. It's because they are not being appreciated. The person is like, oh, I have the voice, so why don't I do my own thing? Pat Thomas was a background vocalist. The late C.K. Man was a background vocalist. The late Papa Yansin was a background vocalist. Pauline Odro was a background vocalist. Do you think if the industry had been fair, these people would have bothered themselves to be frontliners? No. No royalties, nothing. So if you ask me, all these years, have you benefited from what you did? No, I have not. I've not received a dime from all the works that I have done in this country. So it has failed us. There were no measures put in place for background vocalists in this country. So if you are a single person and you want to come with a manager, as I said, you want to have a manager, what is the essence of you being a background vocalist having a manager? It is because the industry did not put measures in place for background vocalists in this country. So you see someone doing back-end, 1 year, 2 years with Jai, then he or she becomes a frontliner. Efe Grace was a background vocalist. Now the reason why it doesn't even, they don't even talk about it. I'm mentioning names that you don't even know they were background vocalists. It was not enticed. It was not an excitement something. They don't see it as worth what they did before becoming frontliners. So you ask them and they don't even want to talk about it. Or a frontliner and that's it.
What are some of the regrets you've encountered in the industry?
I wish I'm not a Ghanaian.
Was it that bad?
Yes. I wish I'm not a Ghanaian, because if every background vocalist wake up one day and say, I want to be a frontliner, who becomes the background vocalist? Because now I need to have, as a frontliner, I need to have somebody who is going to back me on stage. So we are all going to drop being background vocalists and be holding the mics. Who is going to do the job? So if even in Togo, background vocalists are being appreciated, Togo, they understand what an agreement is there. They know who a background vocalist is. They know the kind of inputs they make when they go to the studio. Sometimes you have to go to the studio and tell the musician, this is where if you had done it this way, or if you have sung it this way. We do a lot in the studio. And if you are not being appreciated, I wish I'm a Togolese or something. Yes, it's fun being a background vocalist in this country, but fortunately for me, I have not benefited anything.
Interesting. And I want to find out what means you think can be applied in terms of payment so that you don't feel cheated.
As I said earlier on, the means that can be applied is you as a background vocalist knowing your worth, one, and then signing a split sheet with the artist. If he or she is not ready for the split sheet, charge him or her, because at the end of the day, so charge the artist. Make sure, even if he or she gets $1 million deal somewhere, you don't feel the pain. I hope you understand.
I get it.
So charge the person and do the job and go. If not, sign a split sheet.
So what are you doing
Just
now?
take your performing money, because your appearance money, and go. Sign a split sheet. If it's 10%, even if it's 10%, the next 5 or 10 years, you benefit from it.
So have you completely stopped
being a background? No, I have not. I'm still a background vocalist, because if I should stop, people will start crying. Who is going to talk for them? I'm the only person talking for background vocalists in this country. So I'm still a background vocalist, because that is where I started from. And it's a job. I can't just wake up one morning and say, no. But you see, there are a lot of people looking up to you. I wake up every day and people call and say, Auntie, I want to sing like you, want to learn how to back. I hope you understand what I'm saying. So for people to just even call to say, we want to be like you, they want to be like me because they know I'm a background vocalist. So yes, so I'm not going to, leave my first love and, automatically come and join my second love. No, I'm a background vocalist. I'll always be a background vocalist.
During my research, I found out you discovered Terry Bunchaka.
Yes, I did.
The late Terry Bunchaka.
The late Terry Bunchaka.
Tell me about it.
Terry was my small boy. In fact, he was my kid's brother's friend. So when I started singing, I remember one day he came to my house and he was like, Auntie, I want to sing. I said, oh, your father will kill me, oh. Because anytime he comes to my house and he goes back home and he mentions my name, his father will be like, you and this your nanama. The warnings were too much here and there. But Terry was somebody who would not give up. No. So one morning, I remember my late mom called me. He was in my house and my late mother was like, Na Africa, na ye mane. That was my late mom's words. I said, Mama, ne papa bukumo. So no, just help him. So I took him to Zab. I said, Papa, this is my kid brother. He wants to sing. That is how come Terry became Terry Bunchaka. So people started helping Terry because of me. Because I introduced him to people as my kid brother.
See. And you've also worked with Yvonne Chaka Chaka.
I've done live performances with Yvonne Chaka Chaka. I've done live performances with Onyeka Owenu. I've done studio works with Flavor, with Omaomi, with Samsung, with a lot of artists. I've done live performances with Steve Wonder here in Ghana, Luciano. Yes.
So how would you, I don't know the word to use, but comparing their payments to that of, our very own Ghanaian artists, tell me.
I remember we did Bogaha Life with Goethe Institute. They fund Bogaha Life. And they understand the work. They appreciate musicians. So you sign a contract. Unlike here in Ghana, a musician will call you and say, Nanam, I want you to perform. How much are you going to charge? No, they don't work like that. So you go to Goethe Institute, there's an agreement. So you are being paid. And you know what you have to do. It is not done here in Ghana. I don't know if it is now that they are going to introduce that, but most of these international artists, you sign contracts with them before you perform.
Well, going forward, after experiencing these people and being exposed to their mode of payments or contracts and etc., why didn't you apply it to,
I was saying earlier on that you're a background vocalist. Here in Ghana, they don't respect background vocalists. Hey, they don't regard us. But I wish one day you follow me to the studio and see what we do in the studio. Here in Ghana, background vocalists are not being given that due respect that they are supposed to be given. That's why I said earlier on. Nanaya was a background vocalist. They don't even go for interviews and say, I used to be a
Interesting. Thank God you are going mainstream.
When I started
now.
going to Liberia,
Okay.
anytime I get to the airport, I'm being escorted by the UN police. A background vocalist from Ghana.
Interesting. And you are going mainstream now, or you are now mainstream, if it's safe to say that already. Tell us about your new single, and let's wrap it up.
Konongo Kaya is doing well. I released it last year, and it's doing marvelously well. I mean, the media has been so supportive. You have been so supportive by having me here. So the media have been so supportive. Yes, my fans have been there. And I think it was a good decision. And I'm releasing the second single next month. Yes.
So I'm giving you a minute to say something to people in authority, musical, Gamro, whoever. Whatever you want them to do for backing vocalists or background vocalists.
It has always been my wish for people like Lady Zuzu, Sonti, Billy Richardson, these people who worked for Ghanaians, who were not Ghanaians, to be appreciated in our industry. And then also putting down measures for background vocalists. At least they should initiate contracts when it comes to Gamro. Let's benefit from our hard work. It's very important. Then also, if your background vocalist watching me, please go with split sheets.
For me. Anyway, thank you so much for being a part of the show.
Thank you so much, Now, for having me.
We don't take it for granted at all. We appreciate you and we love what you've done for the industry. And God bless you.
God bless you too.
And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.